Big, crazy outdoor adventures. This is Big Crazy John, and this video is going to be a little introduction to Clif Cave Park, which is a St. Louis County park that is very close to our house and one of my favorite parks. So I'm going to talk about some of the photos I took here. Then there will be some video without narration and a parting message at the end. So this first photo is one of the signs in the park down by the Riverside Shelter. The title states Mississippi River, Greenway, Clif Cave Park. This park is a favorite because it's so diverse. It has a cave and a spring that comes out of that cave, which you will see a little of that in this video. It has 3 trails and many great views of the Mississippi River. So one of the trails is the River Bluff Trail. It's a 1-mile loop dirt trail for hiking and mountain biking, which leads to a cliff overlook of the Mississippi River, which I'll show you in a future video. The Spring Valley Trail is a 3-mile dirt trail with an inner and outer loop, which takes you by the cave and above the cave entrance. It has a very hilly and rocky start, but once you're on top of the hill, it's fairly flat and easy to navigate. I've rode these trails with a mountain bike as well as hiked. The Mississippi River Trail is a 5-mile paved flat trail with 2 loops. I've rode my road bike on this trail many times. This photo is another sign in the park titled The Natural Cave. The cave was originally called Indian Cave. It is about 1 mile from Mississippi River. Also, important note, Clif Cave is not open to the public. It was closed. The actual cave was closed in 2009. Obviously, the park's open. Cave gates were constructed in 2009 when Indiana bats and endangered species were discovered in the cave. The cave is also home to big brown bats, little brown bats, cave salamanders, isopods, and other cave critters. Since the installation of the cave gate, the populations of Indiana bats and other bat species have increased over the past couple of years. I'm glad I had the opportunity to participate in an organized cave tour of the cave prior to it closing. The tour was organized by St. Louis County Parks in the Great River Greenway District. This photo is another sign in the park titled Clif Cave Park History. I was especially interested in the tavern stop section of the cave's history. I noticed this in the 1700s. The cave was used by the French as a riverside tavern for traders traveling on the Mississippi River. In the mid-1800s, the Clif Cave Wine Company used the cave as a wine cellar. The wine company built the rock walls at the entrance of the cave. I've always wondered why there was a little section of wall at the entrance of the cave, and that history explains that. So at one time, a tavern cafe known as Girlie's stood on the banks of the river by the mouth of the creek. And then in the spring of 1977, Clif Cave Park officially opened to the public. This next photo is a sign in the park titled A Rich and Diverse Ecosystem. The park received donated land and is now 525 acres in size and is comprised of woodlands and wetlands. This next photo is of some of the sidewalk from the Riverside Shelter or Pavilion to the blacktop portion of the Mississippi River Trail. As you can see by the sign, it is 5.1 miles long and easy. I took this photo while standing on the Mississippi River Trail, and that is a view of the other smaller loop and 2 benches, and those are just off the trail. This is an overlook spot from the Mississippi River Trail. This was a trail I used previously to reach the top of the bluff, which has an awesome overlook of the Mississippi, but as you can see from the next photo, there is a sign, No Climbing on Cliff, and an associated county ordinance. I didn't feel like getting a ticket today, so I'll come back another time and use the Bluff River Trail and get some video of that. Coincidentally, a cop drove by right as I was standing here. I would strongly suggest following all ordinances in the park because the cave was closed with Before the cave was closed with a bat cave or bat gate, they had a chain link fence which had an opening in it, and many kids went through that. And one day my wife and I were hiking on the spring trail, and when we got back to the parking lot, we saw some kids that were getting some tickets from a park ranger, and they got the ticket, I assume, because they went into the cave, because we saw them go in the cave earlier when we started on the trail. So I heard him say, don't go in the cave, otherwise you get a $700 ticket. So that's another example of do as you're told. Hey, congratulations, you made it to the end. First off, thank you for watching. Second, please do as Abby is asking and subscribe and watch our videos. Also, let me know if you have any ideas for outdoor adventure videos. Where in Missouri would you like to see next? Last item, you can also follow us on the below social media options. I'll have them linked on the video and in the notes. Thank you, and have a good one.